I'm James Demer, the audio nomad, and today we're going to do a review of a headphone, the Kiwi Ears Division. Let's get into it. The Kiwi Ears Division is a $50 dynamic driver headphone that they call a monitor/DJ headphone, and it's pretty good. It has a 40 millimeter dynamic driver. It's a closed back headphone. It does have some little vents, but I would call it a full closed back. It's relatively compact in size. It folds up fairly small. You can see it actually comes in, kind of a smaller box and fits in the box like this. And it sounds pretty good. I actually use this headphone for a documentary that I'm working on for the US military. And I can't really talk too much about that documentary, but what I can say is that for the last week or so, I use these for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I use them pretty hard in some quite varied conditions. I was outside a lot in the winter, in the cold, then I would move inside into heated environments, was moving around quite a bit, and I needed a headphone that isolated really well, that stayed on my head, and gave me good reference audio of the dialogue that I was recording with a variety of microphones. This is a great headphone. We'll talk about how it sounds with music in just a little bit, but first I'd like to tell you about how it worked for me on my job as a dialogue audio mixer. So I'm doing a variety of things. I'm booming, but I'm also wiring people up with wireless lavaliers, and I would often have, on this particular job that I was working on, 4 wireless mics out and a boom. So that would be 5 tracks. And I'm usually splitting wireless on one side, boom on the other side of my ear, left, right, or some variety of something like that. And then I would toggle through each individual ISO track to make sure that everything sounds good. I'm not using this for music for my work. It's primarily dialogue audio and sounds of the environment around me. I've been doing this for, 25 years now, and I've worn headphones, primarily, sometimes IEMs, but primarily headphones for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. And what I like about the Kiwi Ears Division are some of the things that I look for in a good quality travel headphone. First of all, they need to be durable, and these prove to be very durable. I could throw them in my Pelican case, whip them out at a moment's notice, and shove them back in the case, and they just performed really well. There's no weakness in the joints. The finish is exceptional. They didn't show any scratches. They actually look pretty great, but I wouldn't call this a luxury headphone. It's not a luxury headphone, but it is, made well. Like the pivots, the things that break on cheaper headphones that I've had didn't break on this headphone. And I'm guessing that I could use these for quite a long time and they wouldn't break. Another way that you can fold them up is sort of flat like this, which I like. So if you want to put them in a flat backpack or some other way of traveling with them that requires something flat, they do this. Another thing I like about this headphone is, while it doesn't feel terribly heavy or substantial, it doesn't feel cheap and light. It has a nice, just the right balance. They're balanced. They're not too hefty. They're not too wimpy. It's just right. It's a Goldilocks effect going on with the weight of the headphone. I also like the way they fit on my ears. Sometimes I have a problem with headphones. I have ear cups that are too big. My Focal clears tended to slide all over my head, and I found that depending on where they landed, the tonality of the headphone would change, and that really bothered me. With the Kiwi Ears Division, they fit very, very comfortably over the entire ear, which is nice. My ears Don't touch the driver or the driver grills, which is also nice because if you're wearing headphones for a long time, that can get annoying. My ears didn't get too hot. The pads are pretty good. You know, they offer a decent amount of isolation. They're comfortable and they look pretty good. Here, let's pull off a pad and see what we've got. So take a pad off. It's your basic pad. I bet you Deconi or some of the other aftermarket pad companies have pads, maybe Yaxi, that fit this headphone. And this would be a fun one to do some pad rolling with. There's what looks like a 3mm foam overlay. And then, you know what? It's glued down, so I'm probably not supposed to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm curious and I want to show you. And there's the driver. So it's inside a, molded grill. And yeah, looks like a nice 40mm dynamic driver. One of the things that I thought totally sucked on this headphone is the cable. Maybe totally sucked is a little strong. The cable's just not a very good cable, and it's confused about what it's trying to be. It is long. You can see it's really long. It does come with a 6.3 or 1/4-inch stereo screw-on adapter. I do appreciate the screw-on adapter because a lot of my gear requires this 1/4-inch plug. It's easy to lose them if they don't screw in place. So you unscrew it and you've got a 3.5 or 1/8-inch stereo plug. That's pretty nice. And then the side on the headphone is a non-screw-in 3.5 stereo, and that plugs into the left headphone. It's sort of a slightly stiff cable. I wouldn't call it supple. You know what? The whole thing just bugs me. I don't know why they would put this coily in part of the cable, especially down so close to the 1/4-inch. I mean, for me, it does absolutely no good. I'd prefer it to be here so that if I'm pulling the headphones off, they kind of stretch a little bit and then I can tuck the remainder of the cable into my kit or on my desk or whatever. But for $50, I would say either buy the headphones and deal with this cable, or you think about spending another $40 or $50, maybe less on Amazon. I haven't actually looked, and getting an upgraded cable. The box is really simple. It comes in a small box. Who cares about the box? I don't. This cable is actually kind of useful. It looks like it's probably shorter, but it has a mic, and I like that. So these are headphones that you could use to take calls if you're walking through an airport, or you're cruising around your house, or you're in your office, or wherever you are and you want to take calls. That's pretty great. I like that. It's also not a supple cable. It's kind of the same material, but there you go. You get two cables for $50. You get a good sounding set of headphones. And I think that's all you get in the box. You get a warranty policy card. If you take a look at the graph, you can see that this headphone presents music in a fairly neutral way, which is why I believe they call it a DJ or a studio monitor headphone. It's not heavily boosting the bass, nor is it heavily emphasizing the treble. It's a nice, easy listening headphone. This headphone doesn't have a tremendous amount of micro detail. Because it's a closed back, it also doesn't have a tremendous amount of air and space and soundstage. It does give you a nice intimate sound, and it presents audio in a very neutral, well-balanced way. So while this is maybe not the most exciting headphone to listen to, it's actually quite good in terms of its playback and presentation. I would imagine that this headphone would take EQing really well. And if you're looking for something that's neutral and balanced, that has good isolation, that packs up well for travel, is well built, and isn't going to break the bank, the Kiwi Ears Division is a super, super buy. It comes in two colors. I got the black, but they also make it in kind of a silver or a white. I'd personally go for the black. If you're thinking about something like the Sony 7506 versus this headphone, this is about half the price. You can find those 7506s for sometimes $80. They retail for $100. It's a great headphone. It's probably, I would say the 7506 is probably a little bit better build quality, I mean, that's a headphone that you can just throw against a wall and it's going to keep working. But I don't think it fits as well. And truthfully, I don't think it sounds quite as good as the Kiwi Ears Division. This is a headphone that really grew on me. When I first listened to it, I thought, okay, you know, it's good, it's average. But then after a week of using this exclusively for my job, listening to dialogue audio for getting paid, recording the military, I'm all over the place, crazy environments, and then kicking back and listening to some music in the evenings and in the morning before work, I found this to be a very capable and very enjoyable headphone. I'm looking forward to using this headphone quite a bit in 2025 on more audio jobs, as well as the travel to and fro when I'm on airplanes, watching movies on my iPad, or listening to music on my phone. Very easy to drive. You can use your phone, no problem. It's a great headphone. That's about all I can say on the Kiwi Ears Division. If you've had a chance to try this headphone, or you have other inexpensive headphones that you like or don't like, I'd love to hear your comments below. And you can get this headphone at linsoul.com. I believe they have them in stock. Check it out. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by Linsoul.com. Linsoul sells IEMs, headphones, amplifiers, digital to analog converters, cables, really just about anything you could want for personal hi-fi or even home hi-fi. Their prices are great, the quality is exceptional, and their customer service is really second to none. Check them out in the link below.